What do you see when you look in the mirror? That's a pretty good question. And this past week, I was talking to a mentee and he was sharing his executive summary with me. And he ended up in the bios putting himself at the very end. And he also said that he didn't think that it would make sense to put him as the founder, which he is, and put him further up in the bios. My suggestion was no, you should be right after your chairperson and put yourself as founder. If you have other titles that you're going to use, you can put them there. But let's think about that for a second. And I don't know if the reason he wanted to put himself lower is totally this, but it's a good guess that it is. The number one barometer of where you're going to be in terms of success is self-image, self-esteem, something all of us can work on based on what's happened in the past, those events, how you were brought up, your background, whatever it is. And so he may have looked at his background and then looked at the background of his board and say to himself, well, I don't stack up against these guys. I'm not as good as these guys. But I would ask you to think about a few things. Number one, you did recruit this board. So maybe they saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself. So you did do something. They found that you were worthy of them spending their time with and joining you in a venture and not getting paid a salary or compensation, but equity. So they're gambling that it's going to be successful. They're gambling on you. So I would first remember that. And then think about if this happens on an executive summary where you put yourself in a lesser position because you're not worthy. And some people have said, well, I've been told that maybe with my experience, I don't add any value to the board. You do. You were the founder. You put this together. So think about where else this can be happening. And this comes down to mindset, self-image, self-esteem. When you're selecting board members, where do you put yourself in those discussions? Accountants and law firms, where do you put it? Banks, where do you put it? Prospects in particular, where do you put yourself in comparison to them with accomplishments, with comfort level, etc.? There's people that have said to me, I feel like I have imposter syndrome. And that may be the case. You may not have accomplished these things yet, but that doesn't mean that you're not on a path to accomplish them, that you're working the process, that other people have had faith in you. And remember that, certainly. One of the things that I've said to a lot of people who are freaked out, for lack of a better word, when they talk to bankers, lawyers, accounting firms, etc., is they get intimidated by them, particularly bankers. And I said, think about this for a minute. A lot of those bankers may have been doing this for 30 years. They've seen people come through their ranks as customers. They've helped finance deals or whatever, worked on deals, whatever they've done, depending upon what their role was. And they're still doing that. And they look at you and they say, in their mind, I wish I had the guts, the balls, whatever, to do what you're doing. They don't say it to you, but that's what they're thinking. And then they think, well, I've been doing the same thing for 30 years. I've seen a lot of people come through. A lot of them become very wealthy. And here I sit doing the same thing day after day. If you can get that mindset, you won't be intimidated with them. You will see them for what they are, a tool, an asset for accomplishing your goals, but not someone who you should be intimidated by. So I hope that helps. I hope that when you see yourself in the mirror, that you see something that's impressive, you see your future self, you think of the board you put together, you think of your why, all of those things I hope you think about. And if you do that, you will be a lot more successful in your interactions, and you will assemble like people around you that feel that way. So, if you don't know what you're doing in this process, you need to learn that. The Acquisition Advantage Bootcamp 2025 edition is going on right now. We've been through 4 live weekly sessions. We have 2 more live. All the previous ones are put up in your Kajabi account. So I would encourage you to go over to brucewhipple.com, go look at the Acquisition Advantage 2025, sign up. You can join us. We have the live meetings every Tuesday at 6 p.m. East Coast time. But again, all the other ones are put into your portal. And then that will also give you an opportunity to join a monthly call live with me where we do a Q&A. So far with the 4 calls, we're a little over 7 hours of content. Some of the best content I've done, and certainly some of the longest teachings that I've done in a course. So it's good work. It would help you. Get over to brucewhipple.com and sign up for that if you're not already. Take that first step. But remember where you want to get to, and remember what you've already accomplished. If you've already put together a board, if you've already put together a law firms and accounting firms, if you already have yeses from banks and working with prospects, remember the previous successes and don't discount those.